What's up, my little napkins? Today we're looking at one story from r/ProRevenge and one story from r/I don't work here, lady. Let's get right into it. A new director ruined the perfect job for me and my coworkers, and now every chance we get, we ruin her. This first started about 7 years ago when I worked at a catering company for a fairly large university. The company was part of the school's dining services, so it was basically just fancier dining hall food. But it was an amazing job to have as a student. The catering director was an awesome guy, and the supervisor was just as good. We had an excellent team dynamic. We had lots of fun, we got jobs done, and we actually brought in a lot of business. Most of the work was catering university events, so we got to work at film screenings and workshops and stuff. Plus the really great summer concert series the school sponsored. And we got to watch the events for free. Plus I got to take home piles of leftovers, which as a poor college kid was a dream come true. I worked there for a couple of years until it all started to unravel. That's where this revenge starts. The director of dining services was a nice lady, but she was retiring. The school hired a new director, and at first we thought she was going to be a good addition. She was younger, really active in getting to know everyone, and she had tons of neat ideas to make the food better and healthier. But once she started, for some reason she decided our little catering crew were a waste of resources. She made it her mission to make our jobs miserable in the name of cutting costs. The catering director asked around. There was no initiative to cut our costs because we were bringing in so much business, but kept cutting hours. And then she started coming after employees' jobs. She fired half our staff and then came after us for taking too long to work events because we were down to 8 people from 25. Eventually she took it one step too far and fired the awesome catering director. Then she fired the supervisor, which meant that the employee with the most seniority was me, a 21-year-old slacker student who only worked part-time and wasn't allowed to purchase anything or work during my class hours. I wasn't even allowed to drive a university van. It was literally not possible for me to do what she wanted me to do. So I quit. And the few people left quit too. It was to date the best job I ever had. And when I had to quit, I was livid. Here's where it gets good. The catering crew all went their separate ways. We still keep in touch and hang out, but everyone got new jobs. The other students and I graduated and moved on. This all happened in a decent-sized city, but there just aren't a ton of dining service director positions in the area. There's a casino, there's a couple medium-sized hotels, maybe a few assisted living places and event centers, but that's it. And it just worked out that the catering crew got jobs at most of those places, since we came in with a great reputation. I worked as a food and beverage manager at one of the larger hotels, and one day while I was up at the front desk, someone came in to drop off an application. It was the dining services director who ruined everything. I guess the university wasn't happy with her after the debacle with catering, and they let her go. And now she was putting out applications everywhere she could. She didn't recognize me. She thought I was a front desk person and rudely threw her application to me, telling me to make sure the manager got it. I smiled. I said of course they would. And after she left, I put the application through the shredder. I also tried to block her number on the hotel phones and left a note about her and how rude she was at the front desk, just in case she came back. Then I went back to my office and called up everyone from catering who I was still in touch with, warning them about what the old director was up to. The old catering director was a manager at the casino, and when she applied there, she mysteriously never heard back. 2 people worked in HR at other hotels, and she never heard back from them either. Assisted living center? Never heard back. The event centers weren't hiring, and they did not keep her application on file. She tried for months without any luck. We warned everywhere we could about her, and she didn't find a job for months. I got a text from my old supervisor the other day. She'd gone to Taco Bell for lunch and saw the old dining services director. She went from making upwards of $150,000 a year at the university to being an assistant manager at a really mediocre Taco Bell. Apparently, she's gained a ton of weight and is going through a nasty divorce. I want to feel bad for her, but I don't really. She could have kept her cushy job if she just left our little crew alone. But she cost a bunch of hardworking people their hard-earned jobs. She cost me and other students our desperately needed income. And we just made sure to pay her back for what she deserved. Ooh, I just love stories about bosses getting the shaft. I don't get why new bosses feel the need to come in and ruin a solid work team. Oh well, Sucks to suck. On to the next story. Coming in from r/I don't work here, lady. And it's called They Still Haven't Figured It Out. I worked in bars and restaurants for years. During that time, I developed too many pet peeves to count and left the industry with a huge chip on my shoulder and enough trauma that I still have server nightmares years later. I miss liking humans. This is the story of how I served a table very, very badly because they were stupid and shitty, and because I didn't work there. Despite no longer working as a server, I guess I still look like one. I went through a phase where I only owned 1 pair of black Converse, 2 pairs of black jeans, and 7 black t-shirts. I call it my Batman wardrobe. It made getting dressed in the morning very easy, but it made walking through a restaurant very difficult. With this outfit in mind, I will absolutely concede that in some restaurant settings, I might have been bringing this on myself. But as common as this outfit is among service staff, it certainly isn't what most servers in most restaurants wear. It's also a very normal outfit to see on the street. Most of the time, if I'm just trying to walk to the bathroom and someone at a table tries to order from me, I'll just quickly let them know I don't work there. But this one time, I'm tempted to try and justify this by outlining for you the laundry list of shitty behaviors I had already witnessed from this table. In the interest of saving time, I'll just assure you that this table of 6 absolutely knew who their server was and had absolutely been treating her poorly. They were one of those groups where the first guy orders his beer, and by the time the other 5 finally tell the server their orders, the first guy is already complaining that his beer is taking too long, when the server hasn't even left the table side. Yeah, this actually happens a lot. While returning to my table from the bathroom, one of these winners stops me with a, "Hey, get me a shitty beer because I'm an amateur with bad taste." I give him a cheerful, "Sure," and proceed toward my table. Quickly, his repulsive girlfriend pipes up with a whiny, "And I want another one of this," gesturing towards some pink sludge in a cup, because of course that's her taste in beverages. I decide to stick around and let the whole table place orders with me before returning to my table, and wait for them to notice me sitting there with my friends. I really didn't think this would go on long. I'm seated in plain sight about 2 tables away. They don't notice. Their server is tableside again within moments, and their round is promptly ordered again, since they're definitely the type to double order items from different staff. So my prank goes unnoticed. Later I go to visit the bartender, have a brief chat, and grab a couple drinks. I'm walking back to my table with 2 beers in hand. "Is that mine?" a voice asks as a hand reaches out to snatch it. "Nope," I reply, and carry on. My actions had the potential to make life harder for the staff, and I'd feel bad about it if I wasn't friends with all of them and if they hadn't been in on it. This table is so badly behaved and have been determined to have a bad time since before they arrived. They're really a lost cause. Any attempt to clear things up for them wouldn't be worth missing out on the entertainment of messing with them. So I start looking for excuses to innocently walk past their table. I take a few more bathroom visits than I really need, and go visit my friend at the bar a couple more times. I never initiate contact with these clowns, but if they take the bait, I'll take the order. They are becoming increasingly agitated and abusive with each encounter. They tell me how bad I am at my job, and I just cheerfully correct them. No, I'm actually really good at my job. They are more infuriated at how unfazed I am at the abuse than at the several drink orders I've failed to bring them. Remember, my friends and I have been seated in plain sight, a few feet away, drinking and laughing it up all night. Anyhow, they drink 3 rounds despite having ordered about 9 and decide to leave. Naturally, when their bill arrives, they try to contest it, arguing that we didn't actually get most of the drinks we ordered, so they shouldn't be on the bill. The manager informs them that the bill represents only the drinks they did receive. They try to argue the point, and I just can't stand to watch my prank escalate too far, so I pipe up. Your bill represents the drinks you ordered from your server. I don't even have to say it that loudly since I'm seated so close to them. They all turn to look at me, and I want to say they realize what's going on, but that's giving them too much credit since one of them immediately lays in with the threats to call my boss. I offer them my boss's phone number and dare him to try to get a jeweler to fire their assistant for being bad at table service. He then tries to accuse me of putting items on his bill that shouldn't be there. You know, with the access card I used to log into the POS at the restaurant where I am a customer. He still hasn't figured it out. I gotta say, guys, servers do have it rough out there. I know you've all seen those videos of the Karens freaking out at restaurants or just in public. Maybe I'll do a video featuring some Karen freakouts to help refresh your memories. Anyways, have any of you ever been a server? If so, I would love to hear your nightmare stories in the comments. Alright guys, have a great night, and I'll see you in the next video.